So, this is sweet tea. That looks like a wine glass, but that's cream soda.
This is cream soda.
I am drinking sweet tea out of a mug. And a straw.
It's for the aesthetic.
It's purely aesthetic. Everything that we do is for the aesthetic.
Is this tumbler? Hi.
This is what we're here for. Actually, the real thing we're here for is...
Murder!
Murder! True crime, killers.
Yeah.
We love talking about death.
Yes.
So, this is Kaitlyn. Hi.
This is Genene.
This is Genene. And we are lady killers.
Lady killers.
Not actual lady killers.
No.
But we are doing a little series on lady killers.
Yes.
So that's what we're here for.
Yes.
I am going to be talking about Marie Manning today, or some people call her Maria Manning. So, Marie, her maiden name was DeRoux, D-E-R-O-U-X, so DeRoux.
DeRoux.
Yeah. She was born in Switzerland in 1825.
Well.
So she was born 1821. She died November 13th, 1849, so she was either 27 or 28 when she died.
Oh, geez, she's young.
Yeah, she's very young. So early 1820s. She was born in
knows?
Switzerland.
Yes.
Before coming to England as a domestic servant in 1846.
Interesting.
Yes. She becomes the maid to the daughter of the Duchess of Sutherland, the heir to the Duchness.
The Duchess.
Yes. So ladies' maids at the time could live quite a nice life for themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
So it's kind of like a lady in waiting a little bit is what I'm thinking.
She's kind of living it up.
Yeah.
Like she gets invited to something.
Yeah, to meet the queen.
Okay.
Casual, like she's a servant. She has a duty, but she also is like a duchess's servant. So she lives a pretty nice life.
She gets invited to a soiree.
Exactly. And from
a nice soiree.
she apparently lived in some kind of poverty in Switzerland before coming to England.
Okay.
So she gets quite accustomed to the luxurious lady life.
Don't we all, girl?
True. So in 1846, so she's on a trip. She meets Patrick O'Connor, and she's in her 20s.
Okay.
He is 50 years old. He's an Irishman.
Same. Girl was getting in on the sugar baby life.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty literally it.
Get yours.
Yeah. He's 50 years old, Irishman. He worked at a custom house, or like customs.
Oh, okay.
So a customs house. He was an customs house officer in London's docks. And he's pretty well off. He also, I want to say he has some kind of, investment business. Oh. So he's well off. They hit it off, and she tells him to stay in touch and to contact her next time he's in town.
Same.
Yeah.
Just hey, hit me up, baby.
Yeah. So it says that they hit it off well. That's debatable whether it's they hit it off as people or sugar daddy, kind of thing.
I like the idea of her just being I'ma get mine.
Yeah.
And just being is he cute?
I don't know. I don't have any pictures of him.
So I'm gonna say she was nah.
Yeah.
But that you got mad money and I need a livelihood.
I think that's probably it. And again, she loved the luxurious life at this point.
Yeah, I'm why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yours.
Yeah, for sure. A couple months later, Patrick was back in town and comes to see her where she was living at Stafford House, and he takes her out to dinner.
Oh.
So she mentions to him then that she had recently met a Frederick George Manning, a guard on the Grand Western Railway. Both men fall for her and both propose not long after. Maria just had a conflict on which one to marry, because they both proposed to her.
Were they both rich?
So, yeah.
Let me tell you.
Frederick Manning was closer to Marie's age, more attractive, but poor, but he had a promise of some kind of fortune.
Oh. So she's I'm gonna play the long game.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or should I play the short game, hope he dies, because this is the 1820s, or 1840s. So, he might die.
Yeah.
That's 90 now.
So it's cute, attractive young boy has a promise of some kind of wealth.
Eventually get rich.
Yeah. Or sugar daddy.
Know that he is rich and could get richer. Oh.
I mean, you know, you can see the conflict. You can see the
fair
conflict.
ultimatum.
Yeah. Mary decides to marry Frederick, the younger one. They marry in
Okay.
May 1847 in St. James Church, Piccadilly.
Ooh.
Then move to a nice home in Miniver Place in London. I love how they like know the places because I'd love to visit those places, you know? I just put it in here because I'd love to like dream of like visiting those places. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let's create a roadmap.
Yeah.
Insert here, not really.
I know.
But like the murder tour of Marie Manning.
The Marie Manning murder tour.
Ooh, alliteration.
I like it. Yes, for sure.
Let's get some money.
So they moved to a pretty nice house, but not long after being married, Marie finds out that Frederick's promised inheritance was made up.
What a bastard!
That's very devastating for Marie.
Oh, that's like when your sugar daddy's just all like, I have no sugar at all. I'm
It's
just
salt.
a daddy.
It's not sugar. I tricked you. It's salt.
It's just all salt.
Like, it's like, whenever I was younger, I liked to eat those sugar packets, you know? And there was this one time, it was not a sugar packet, it was a salt packet. And I just ate a salt packet, and I was like, wait.
Fuck it.
Yeah, so it's basically like that. That's basically what's going on.
So basically what you're saying is that Manning salt packeted her?
Yeah. She's
He's salt daddied her. She got real salty, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she finds out that the inheritance is made up. Damn. So she stays friends with O'Connor, the Irishman.
You never stay
and
friends
I put
with
on
your
here,
exes. If you're a boy or a girl or non-gendered, binary, like significant other, you're human. If you're human, stays friends with an ex, I know a lot of people disagree on this, but I'm gonna make a strong statement of no. Trust your SO, but also...
My thing too is that like even if you trust your significant other, I don't trust the ex.
That's my issue.
I can like trust the significant other to the moon and back, but I don't trust other people.
You're decent.
I just don't trust people. Yeah, I don't know. She stays friends with O'Connor.
Okay.
But more likely friends with benefits. And
girl.
Manny was probably aware of this. He was aware of them being more than just friends.
Was he okay with it, or was he like?
I think he was not okay with it.
Oh.
But I think he was, given the circumstances, he did kind of cheat this girl out of the life that she wanted to live by saying that he had an inheritance.
So he's like,
so I in my head, I want to think that it's like, okay, you fucking another dude, but I also kind of fucked you over at the same time, so he's kind of turning a blind eye.
It's kind of a romantic lie in a weird way, because he's like, I wanted you so bad.
Yeah, it's
but
still
it's
a lie,
gross.
though.
It's gross. Don't. But also,
I mean,
kind of romance.
He did cheat her out of the like. Given she probably wanted to lead a materialistic life, but that's the life she wanted to live, and he cheated her out of that.
And he didn't give it to her, because he was so in love.
Yeah, but they would have dinners at the Manning's house a lot with O'Connor. So O'Connor was over a lot.
Okay.
So Maria realizes she's made a mistake in marrying Manning, and she decides she's going to get her hands on O'Connor's fortune. So she kind of wants the best of both worlds, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
she's like, how can I have the young piece of ass, but also
the fortune? Yeah. She wants them both. Like,
I get it. Say it. Me.
So she wants her hands on his fortunes, whatever means necessary.
Sounds like a euphemism.
I know. They decide the perfect solution to this problem, instead of finding well-paid jobs and work diligently every day and work themselves up to some kind of fortune. No, murder.
I'm just reading your notes and it says no murder.
I literally put no murder.
Pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Capitalism. Murder.
Yeah, murder.
All aligned.
Yeah. So they're not going to be hardworking and, make the lives for themselves. No, they're just gonna kill someone and fucking just snatch that fortune, because that's the easiest road. So I
get it.
Yeah, so I'm saying
it's called being an entrepreneur.
It's called being resourceful and
scrappy. It's called Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo. Did you say it's called Scrappy Doo?
It was Scrappy Doo, not Scrappy Do Not. So therefore,
I rest my case. That's all we have for today.
Judge, I think I got it.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
Dismiss.
This is one of my favorite details. I don't know why. I guess whenever I was researching this, I just liked this detail. So on July 23rd, a bushel of limes was delivered to the Manning's house.
Okay.
Then on August 8th, a shovel was delivered. That was pretty funny.
Amazon Prime?
Overnight delivery thing.
Hello. It's expedited shipping. I just like how coy she thinks she's being.
I know, she orders a bushel of limes and then a shovel.
I'm being sneaky.
Also, did they not already have a shovel?
No, they're rich. No, they're poor as hell.
Poor.
They don't have anything to shovel.
No.
They live in a shovel.
Well, apparently the house that they're living in is kind of nice.
Oh, is that how he was?
Because
her?
I think that they like kind of were investing into a nice house, and then he was like, actually, I don't have money to pay for this. Is what I think is happening. So it was then that Marie and Frederick invite Patrick over to dine with them at their house at 3 Miniver Place. Marie and Frederick had decided beforehand that they were going to murder Patrick, but their plan, I know. Their plan gets foiled whenever Patrick actually shows up with a friend. So they're like, God damn it.
That's how you don't get murdered. Go everywhere with the friend.
Okay, but honestly,
never alone.
That's me. Yeah.
No, but actually, I don't go anywhere.
No, I don't like going places by myself. And if I'm having to walk any kind of distance, I call someone. I have to be on my phone. I'm scared of it.
Patrick was just playing it safe.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
He was like, I'm calling a friend in an alley. Like, that was the metaphorical thing he was doing.
Yeah, you're right.
So, like, be like Patrick.
Be a Patrick, guys. So she invites him, because they didn't get to murder him that night, so she invites him personally back the next night with a little wink wink. You know, like, she kind of like insinuates that it's gonna be just them.
She's like,
that maybe there's more
Patrick
on the menu than just roast beef. You know what I mean?
Or just roast beef.
Exactly. So the next night comes around, and the two are preparing for dinner.
Okay.
So the two being Marie and Patrick. Marie's like, hey, go wash your hands really quickly, and then we'll get started on dinner. While he's turned around doing so, she shoots him. Yeah, I love the, like, just go over there for a second. Marie first shoots Patrick in the back of the head and is unsuccessful in murdering him. Because Frederick comes back.
Like she was unsuccessful in marriage. Girl can't do anything.
No, I know. Girl, come on.
She keeps trying. She has big dreams. So she seems like the epitome of like, shoot for the moon, land amongst the stars. But it's like she never lands amongst the stars. She just hits Earth again.
Yeah. Gets stuck in the ozone. You know what I mean?
Suffocates in the atmosphere and she's like, where am I?
Poor girl. I mean, you know, she was just trying to make a life for herself.
She's shooting for it.
She's shooting for something.
Shooting.
Frederick comes back to find him still trying to talk. Oh my God. And
he's like, but wait.
Yeah. He's
but
like,
what are we?
He's like, but wait, Marie, what does this mean?
Can we like DTR?
Can we just get on the same same
so
page
you
right
shot
now?
me, but I'm like,
what does this mean?
What does it mean, Marie?
Yeah, what does this mean? Frederick comes back, and he ends him with a crowbar. Later saying, I never liked him. Like in his statement, he says, I never liked him, so I battered his head with a ripping chisel.
That's reasonable. So excuse, same.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that like Marie wanted his fortune.
Yeah.
Patrick wanted him gone because of the affair.
Yeah, because he's like.
Yeah. They then bury his body under the flagstone in their kitchen where they had already dug a hole. Then they added the lime to hurry up the decomposition. This is
like
where
for the smell, like it's a Glade commercial.
Yeah,
like
right.
I'm just picturing like them bringing in like a crowd of people that's like blindfolded.
Yeah.
There's a dead body here.
Quick question, do you smell any death?
They're like, it smells like lime, and they're like,
They then move the table back onto the flagstone and finish the dinner that Marie had just made.
Casual.
Yeah. Marie then goes that next day to where Patrick was living in Greenwood Street and basically cleans out all of his stuff, including cash valuables and stock certificates. She comes back the next day after that as well for another sweep through. So on So on August 12th, two men saying they were colleagues of O'Connor's from the custom house came by the Manning's house concerned about the disappearance of O'Connor. Marie tells them that she had not seen him since having him for dinner on the 8th, a day before his disappearance. The men found that suspicious because they had already talked to some friends of O'Connor who said that they had seen him the night of his disappearance crossing London Bridge, and that he said that he was going out dining with Maria. Or Marie.
And also they're like at the house being all like, it's funny, I thought this was all like Patrick's like furniture.
Yeah. Why
where did it go? They're like, I recognize that ottoman.
They pointed this out to her that they had talked to his friends the night of his disappearance. They don't tell her that they had also had talked to a neighbor who saw O'Connor smoking a cigar outside the Manning's house the night that he disappeared.
Gonna get caught, girl.
Maria's like, nah, you must be mistaken, but to keep her updated with the investigation.
Oh, cute. Actually, that's a good way of, I guess, like, dodging it, like, being concerned a little.
After the men left, Manning freaked out, realizing the two men were definitely police officers. I mean, that's why they're here. Not colleagues of O'Connor, so they panic and they flee. So Marie tells Freddie to sell the furniture for whatever he could and to find a relative named Bainbridge. While he's gone, she takes everything of value and goes to King's Cross Station and gets a train to Edinburgh. She was seen leaving her home in a cab with 3 trunks tied to the top. Frederick also decides to flee separately out of the country and leaves for Jersey. So
Joyzy.
Yes.
Different Joyzy.
But Joyzy. It's kind of funny, they think they both were trying to kind of like double cross each other.
Same. Yeah. Don't trust a guy that lies to you about being rich.
Yeah. So
and a woman that would murder someone.
Yeah.
Don't trust either of those people.
So I think that's kind of funny because they were both, I don't even know if they realized that they were being double crossed by each other, but like Mary was like, okay, you go do that, I'm gonna go do this. And
like,
then she
totally being reliable.
Yeah, and vice versa. At this point, O'Connor's actual colleagues had reported him as missing, and they also told the police of their suspicions of the Mannings. So police decide to go on a proper search of Miniver Place, where they find the Mannings gone. They soon find a place in the flagstone where the mortar was still damp. So they lift the stone and find O'Connor's body.
And a bunch of limes.
For some reason.
A lime crime.
They put out a man search on the Mannings, obviously. It's
a man search on the Mannings.
Exactly. A Manning search.
A Manning
search if you
a Manning hunt.
A Manning hunt if you prefer.
If you will.
Superintendent Hayes of Scotland Yard, who was leading the investigation, was able to find that she had purchased tickets to Edinburgh. So he immediately gets into contact with some of his Scottish counterparts.
Okay.
He finds out from them that she had actually already been arrested, caught trying to sell some of O'Connor's railway stock.
Oh,
yeah.
That idiot.
They already knew that some railway stock had been stolen in London and were suspicious of Marie's French accent. So they bring her straight back to London.
Was she faking a French accent?
I don't know. I hadn't even thought about that because she's from Scotland.
Yeah.
But it said French.
She's like bonjour.
I don't think I messed that up. So I think that's what they're saying. I think that's
oui oui. Bien guest. She's like lumiere.
I think that's what they're going for. Like I think that she like is giving them a weird
That's
accent.
so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And she has like a little mustache and a beret. She's like, oh.
I don't know why I did this.
She's also a pirate.
Yeah, this story goes so many places. So, they send her straight back to London. She's convicted of the murder of O'Connor and is held into custody at Horsemonger Lane, Gowl? Is it Goal or Gowl? Oh, it might just be pronounced
jail.
It might just be pronounced jail. Yeah, it's pronounced jail. It's Gaol. But it's jail. It's just a jail, which is hilarious. I feel like I should have known that. I didn't know that. I thought it was.
I don't think you needed to know that one. That's weird.
It's a little funny. I feel like maybe I just never really questioned it. I was just like, yeah, a gal. Frederick was arrested only a week after being seen in Jersey by a friend he had known in London who had heard about him and the murder in the paper.
He was like, Bye.
Yeah, he's like, hello?
Excuse me.
He's like, excuse me, no? So the man returns to London and goes straight to the police. Sergeant Langley is sent out immediately to find Manning and traces him back to a room he had rented out in St. Lawrence where he is found asleep. So they arrest him immediately and he's also held in custody at Horsemonger.
Oh, together.
Yes, I know. Also note that at this time, people could be hanged for even attempting to kill someone. So this is a very big crime at the time. Like, this is not really heard of. Like, you could get executed for even like pretending like you were going to kill someone, basically.
Like, this would get us
hanged. Yeah.
Lifetime.
So the trial went on for 2 days. Both Marie and Manning blamed the other for what happened.
Loyal.
Yeah, and didn't want to take any guilt upon themselves. It took the jury 45 minutes to decide they were both guilty. Both of them were guilty.
Yes.
Yeah. So the judge passes death sentences on the pair, and Marie loses it. She blames the judge for treating them like wild beasts and basically like not judging them fairly.
You are beasts.
You murdered someone. Yeah. And later, she had apparently asked the guards their opinion on how she had performed during the trial. So I think like on her way back to like her cell, she's like, "Hey guys,"
she's like,
"How was that one?"
Excuse me, young sirs. I'm looking for a standing O at the end of this.
How do you rate me?
I think I'm Liz Taylor. Hello.
Except this was in the 1800s.
She also had the gift of premonitions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
It's fine that you don't
Not well known fact about Marie Manning.
Throwing it out there.
So while Marie waited for her execution, it said that she had attempted suicide, so she had to be watched by her other cellmates. Like, she had 3 other lady cellmates.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. So Marie,
for them, not for her. Like,
her cellmates had very minor crimes. I don't know what they were.
Like, she freaking murdered someone.
She murdered someone. So, then her poor cellmates had to watch over her because she kept on trying to kill herself. So Marie grew her nails out, and while her cellmates were sleeping, she attempted to strangle herself by puncturing her windpipe. It took all 3 of her cellmates, the ladies, to stop her.
Oh my God.
And remember how earlier I mentioned that she hadn't met the queen at the time, which was Queen Victoria? So, which I didn't mention, but it's Queen Victoria. Marie writes to Queen Victoria, who she had met earlier, and though the queen did take some interest in her case, in her letters, she denied helping her because she was like, "You fucking guilty." Like,
Queen B was literally like, oh my God, this is just interesting because it's a cool true crime case. And Queen Bee was like, "I'm interested."
She's one of us.
But like, she's like, "I'm not gonna like help you."
No, she's like, you killed a man. So, but it's just kind of like, at this point, Marie is very desperate. Like, she's very desperate.
Yeah, clearly.
And she still doesn't think she's guilty. So she writes to Frederick. Yeah, literally. So Marie writes to Frederick trying to convince him to take all the guilt, which he denied.
He's like,
obviously.
No.
I mean, he had part in it, but he's not going to take all of the guilt.
He's like, I'm going to die no matter what.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, so no. He did end up writing a confession saying Marie had shot O'Connor before Manning had finished him off. So he was like, "I'm not taking the blame, but here's the full confession."
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna die, like, I might as well not be an absolute
I should be
asshole.
honest. I should be an honest psychopath.
Yeah. So
I don't know if he's a psychopath.
No, but an honest murderer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
better than a dishonest one.
True. Marie. Marie.
No,
so,
Mother Mary are you.
True. Their execution is scheduled for November 13th, 1849. Note a little over a month after the crime. So this happened all really, really quick. Yeah. Like, it happened, the disappearance happened, they found them.
Expedited.
It happened super quick. Like, definitely not what they were expecting is what I'm saying,
It was on prime criminal justice.
I know. Marie was like, "I'm just gonna kill him, get his fortune, and we're set." No. Like, a month later, like, she's dead.
Die.
Yeah. It attracted the largest crowd ever to attend a public hanging.
Wow.
Estimated to have attracted between 30 and 50,000 people.
Oh my
One of
God.
which includes Charles Dickens, which is why I picked this story, because I thought it was interesting.
Tale of two murderers.
I know. It was very popular at the time, no matter what, if you were poor or rich, like where you stood, to go see public executions.
And it was like, this one's juicy.
Yeah, and it was like a family thing. Like it was like a, oh my God, it was like Sunday night
Mom and
football.
Dad, can we go to Disney World?
Exactly. It
No,
was like,
no, we're going to the hanging.
Exactly. It was basically
in Town Square.
Yeah. It was a casual thing. This is funny. Many of the upper class ladies were infuriated by what Maria had chosen to wear to the occasion. Her execution. They were like,
oh my God.
They were like, oh my God, that top does not match her shoes. Like, it's basically like,
you're like, girl, she's getting so
hanged.
like bloody after this. She shouldn't have worn red.
Such a trivial thing. Like this lady's getting executed for murder, and they're like, what is she wearing? So I just think it's kind of funny. It just kind of shows how casual this, like, people thought that the hangings were.
Do this, that she should have set aside an outfit.
It is claimed that Marie kisses Frederick on the gallows, apparently as sign of forgiveness, that he did not take the blame. Yeah, so she's like, it's okay, we're dying, but I forgive you for not taking the blame of the guy that I convinced you to help me murder.
Because there would have only been one of us dead, but it's fine.
It's fine. I mean, it's totally fine. So Charles Dickens wrote to the Times, I believe that a sight so inconceivably awful as the wickedness and levity of the immense crowd collected at that execution this morning could be imagined by no man, and could be presented in no heathen land under the sun. When the two miserable creatures who attracted all this ghastly sight about them were turned quivering into the air, there was no more emotion, no more pity, no more thought. The two mortal souls had gone to judgment, than if the name of Christ had never been heard in this world. So it's basically like, he's saying both, like, what I think is, like, he's saying that both the crowd and the Mannings had, like, no remorse and no emotion, nothing for what was going on.
No, the crowd is, like, wanting this to happen. They're also urging on.
And so he's saying
it's not murder, but, like, essentially the death of two people. That's
So, like, no, they're not showing remorse. The crowd is not fazed. Like, again, this is Sunday morning football for these people. That's pretty much it. Dickens was one of the number of influential people who campaigned against public hangings, and they finally abolished that in 1868, so shortly after. It's pretty fucked up, but something that did come out of it, because I love a good story that's, like, it's messed up, but it's something that comes out of it.
It leads to something.
It led to public hangings being no more in London, at least.
Interesting.
So that's one of the good things that comes out of it, because it's a pretty, like, bummer story.
So now they were more private after that, because hangings were still around.
Yeah, it just wasn't the whole, like, bring your family, let's go have a picnic and watch the hangings.
Let's go drink some mimosas and murder.
Yeah, I just think it's really interesting that Charles Dickens was there. Like,
and I think that's relevant even to, like, this day when you have, like, super publicized, like Jodi Arias, Casey Anthony, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like the Turpin case that just came out, where the two parents were keeping their 13 children, like, held hostage and captive.
Really?
Yeah,
See, I'm not
they didn't murder anyone, but it's still like we push for justice so hard, I think. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think sometimes in the process we lose our own humanity, and I think that's kind of what he's trying to get at.
Yeah.
That it's like there's something really sick about wanting someone to... It's like when people say the really problematic thing when, like, a rapist is finally convicted of rape, and they're like, I hope the same thing happens to them. We can't lose our humanity in the process of dealing with that. And I mean, which isn't to say, like, I'm anti-death penalty. That this is not political, but I definitely think it's something to think about.
I mean, I don't wish rape or murder on anyone.
You shouldn't.
Even, like, a rapist and a murderer. I definitely wish lifetime in prison on them, but I don't.
But I think it's a little bit interesting when people wish, like, death or rape on people.
Yeah. This is pretty heavy.
But like, I definitely think Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the point is good. I like that quote a lot.
Yeah.
And it's still relevant, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, it was even to the point Charles Dickens was like, it doesn't seem like any of these people have even heard the name of Christ, has never even heard anything like that.
Even if you don't believe in Christ, that's a pretty damning statement.
Yeah. That, like, basically saying that they haven't heard any goodness.
That it's unholy. Yeah, like, whatever. This is, like, not of goodness.
Yeah, that's crazy. And this is all the 1800s. This is only a couple hundred years ago.
And we like to talk about, like, systemized violence now, where it's, like, people play video games that are super violent. It's like, but gosh, like, it's always been built into our culture.
Yeah. It's really creepy. Serious, heavy stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for sticking around if you stuck around.
Yeah.
That kind of, we had a pretty serious conversation after that one, and I'm good at tangenting, so.
I enjoyed that, though.
Yeah, me too. Okay. So I think that's it for today.
You killed it.
Oh, did I kill it?
You killed it.
Killed it.
Killed it with that political talk.
Thank you. I know. It ended up being kind of political. Not political, but kind of political. This always happens.
So if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, make sure to hit the bell icon so that you get notifications whenever we post an episode.
We have this whole series, the Lady Killers series, is going to be 6 total.
Yes.
6 total episodes. So watch the previous ones. Watch the ones after this.
Yes.
When they come out. We've had a lot of fun doing this.
And
we'll be on Instagram.
Yes.
We will have our Gmail open.
Send us emails.
Do people email anymore? I don't know.
If you want us to know your suggestions, email.
Yeah, please. Also, true crime, paranormal, folklore, cults, survival cases.
Ooh, we love a good survival case.
I love a good survival case, et cetera, et cetera. What did you say? Anything that goes bump in the night? Anything creepy?
Anything that goes bump in the night.
We love it. We love it. Just tell us more things because
we need to know them.
We love it.
We're not all knowledgeable.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it.
That's
for today.
it.
We killed